What if I told you there is a miracle oil, one that can get your life unstuck? There actually is. And the good news is it's already in you. And that's our topic today on this episode of the Educators Among Us podcast.
Welcome to the Educators Among Us podcast, where we share motivational messages and inspiring stories for and about educators. Your host, Scott Barron, is author of the critically acclaimed book, Love 'Em and Lead 'Em, and provides powerful insights and wisdom for those who heed the call to teach, coach, lead, and serve at all levels of education.
This is Scott Barron, and I'm honored to be your host for the Educators Among Us podcast. We have a real joy in encouraging educators in their calling, in their in the discipline of the work, in loving people, right? Because that's what it takes to be an educator. You have to not only love your content, your curriculum, to not only love the job, but also, of course, love people. And that's a calling that is not for everyone. There are some people that just wears them out. I've seen something about some burned out teachers and others on social media and other places. And I get it. It's hard work and it's not for everybody. But we're thankful for you because you're here in a commitment to the work. You're here because you understand that it does require sacrifice. It does require doing some of the extra things to deal with the emotions of the work and the pace. It's hard work, but your love for people gets you through. And that's why we love you and we want to be here for you. That's the purpose for creating Educators Fellowship, our nonprofit organization that just seeks to encourage educators in their calling to the work as well as in their faith, an intelligent faith. And then we also do a lot of work through school growth, which is our work with school leaders and board members and others around the country as they try to create the best conditions for educators to thrive. And it's such a joy to be a part of different schools and seeing them find a perspective, right? And that's what we're talking about today, right? There's something about perspective. It's like that oil that, if you remember from the Beverly Hillbillies, right? There was that oil that he discovered. It was that Texas tea, that black gold. It was the life-changing experience of finding that oil. And that's what we're going to look at today, is that miracle oil that is such a life changer for so many, especially those who serve at all levels and in all types of education. Roy Orbison said one time, if you have faith, then your whole life is put into a new perspective. You get to work but enjoy the work at the same time. If you grow spiritually, you do what's in front of you and let the results speak for themselves. That's powerful, right? This idea of perspective, right? The miracle oil is said to heal ailments and to grow hair and repair skin and even reverse aging, right? The miracle oil is supposed to do it all, right? Essential oils, you've heard of those, maybe can lift the mood and make us feel good when diffused into the room, right? It's amazing. We have a few members of our family. They really believe in the power of essential oils, right? One of my favorite oils is WD40. WD40 can do some amazing things. That's my miracle oil, right? It's an essential oil, perhaps it is for those who have to do some work around the house or want to fix things. Yeah, I found this one website with over 2,000 possible ways to solve what ails. They've figured out just so many ways of using WD-40, that beautiful blue and yellow can. It's a problem fixer, right? It's able to fix and eliminate those annoyances. Sometimes it squeaks, or I've even seen where they're using it to get rid of maybe spiders around the windows or fix faucets or so many different things, right? Wouldn't it be nice? Would it be nice if we had something similar in life, right? Something that would grease life's frictions and hassles. It would just just one spray, just done, right? Just overdone. That would be pretty cool. That would be a miracle oil, right? There's something about this idea of being able to maybe think through, is there a WD-40 for life? Mother Teresa said, if you want a love message to be heard, it has got to be sent out. Which makes sense, right? You gotta hit send. But to keep a lamp burning, we have to keep putting oil in it, right? In other words, to get the message through and to sustain the message, you have to keep a fuel going. And that's an interesting thing, right? Perspective is the WD-40 of life, because everything changes based on how we look at it. It transforms our attitude. It has the ability, to respond in ways that we don't have if we don't understand the impact of attitude, especially when facing those hard times, those difficulties. We are unreliable narrators of our own lives because of our limited information and inevitable biases. We're bad at this in so many ways, right? Yet we do so anyway in unwavering and unwarranted confidence. We want to create a narrative, and often we don't know what we don't know. But one thing is true. Gratitude is a very useful trigger for a healthier perspective. It shifts our minds from self-centered traps into the freedom that comes with seeing the blessings all around us. Shifting attitude is a life-changing practice. So do not conform to the pattern of this world, said Paul in Romans 12:2, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Emotional negativity, it takes us down a vicious pathway, especially the outrage of offense and the desire for retaliation that comes from adopting a victim mentality. Burnout, that's a common word used, right? When we lose perspective, we see that happening and it giving in to the agitation and the noise. We get burned out, right? Everything pivots based on our focus and our faith, giving the inner strength and clarity of purpose that enables us to sustain our commitment to love and lead others. Perspective is the WD-40 of life. A joyful perspective is a reliable elixir for the troubles that come with work and with life, especially the work and the life of an educator, right? So oil your perspective this week, my friend, renewing your mind to grease the hinges on the door of opportunity before you. When you see those opportunities, when you shift your perspective, amazing things can happen, and your influence is maximized, and your influence actually changes lives. That's the privilege as well as the responsibility of being an educator. Our words, our testimony, our actions, what we model directly influences people's lives. They learn from us, whether we like it or not. So we have to be wise and maintain very carefully that perspective that reflects the wisdom and the knowledge that we value so much. Hey, as you're going through this week, a coaching question for you to consider. Did I do my best to oil my perspective today? Did I do my best to oil my perspective today? Love him and lead him, my friend. And this is Scott.
Thank you for joining us for the Educators Among Us podcast and for your courageous commitment to this noble calling. We get you and the challenges of this work. To stay connected with this community, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and weekly encouragement at educatorsamongus.com.